everybody, how's it going? Studman coming right back at you today, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review of Last House on the Left. And the reason I'm doing that review is because I found a fantastic deal on this. My good friend Zarin Isaac actually keyed me in on the fact that this movie went down to a ridiculously low price on Amazon.ca. I'm not sure why it went down to that really incredibly low price only on Amazon.ca. He didn't even know why. But yes, this is the Arrow 3 disc limited edition copy of The Last House on the Left, the original horror movie from Wes Craven, his first, in fact. And if you can believe it, even after like the import fees and even after the difference in price between the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, I only paid like $16 for this, which is just freaking crazy to me because look how freaking massive this set is. It's insane. First of all, here is the actual Blu-ray itself, the Arrow Blu-ray. And yes, this is the Region A version, so it's not like the import or something. And then we've got this hefty, and I do mean hefty booklet on The Last House on the Left. How many pages are there? It's about 56 pages in that booklet. And then there is, I'm not going to unfold it, but this is like the poster, and it's a reversible poster, which has the artwork here from the cover of the Arrow release on one side and the original artwork from the movie poster on the other side. And of course, this is actually like a hard box copy of the film here, which is just freaking amazing because, you know, it's not every day you see that kind of love and attention and care put into a special edition of a movie. And especially if you get something like this from Arrow, you expect to pay a pretty damn high premium price for it, right? Which is why if you look for it right now on Amazon, more than likely you're going to find that it's like $30+, which is a fair price to pay for it, honestly. But I can't say I'm not glad that I got it for $16. Holy crap, I can't believe I got this for $16. So let me just put all this stuff back into the box now. So believe it or not, I had never actually seen this movie when I got it, which is one of the reasons that I wanted to get it, especially for such a fantastic price. So the first thing I did when I got it was to plop that disc in and watch it, because I had heard varying reviews about it. I've heard people say it's not a very good movie. I've heard people say it is a good movie, but you kind of have to understand the context. Different strokes for different folks, if you will. It's definitely a movie that some people hate and some people love and some people think is good and some people think isn't so good. It's a movie that produces, I think, different reactions for different people depending on who watches it. I definitely I wouldn't recommend my mother watch this because I think she would hate it because of everything that happens in it, rightfully so. But at the same time, I see this movie and I'm thinking to myself, how many of you have actually seen Saturday Night Fever? Because Saturday Night Fever has some pretty screwed up things in it, you guys. Like, no joke, go back and watch it now, knowing what we know about like what is and is not appropriate, what is and is not okay, you know what I mean? And there are a lot of things that happen in that movie are fucked up, so I'm sorry, it's just a messed up movie. And every time I think about it, I'm like, I guess you could kind of say there's some kind of horrific parts of that movie too, which you wouldn't think for a movie that's basically about dancing. But okay. Anyways, this movie is not about dancing. This movie is about like your worst nightmare come true. Two girls go into the city to go to a concert. They end up trying to score some dope, as they put it, because this is a movie that came out in 1972, you guys. So it's totally part of that. They're playing up, in fact, the fact that they're in the love generation, as they put it. It's actually the free love generation, but in this movie they call it the love generation. So they go into the city and they're looking to score some weed, basically, and they talk to the wrong guy, and it all goes downhill from there, and some pretty screwed up, really fucked up things happen, and I don't want to give too many details away, even though I'm sure most of you probably already seen it. But yeah, it's a revenge flick. After the bad things happen, some people get some revenge on the people who did the bad things. Okay? That too much of a spoiler? Because it's important to note that it is a revenge film. And when they get to the revenge part, it's almost like watching Home Alone. I mean, honestly, a lot of the parts of this movie, it's hard to take for a true horror film because there's a lot of comedy in this. It's almost like a horror comedy. Like, even the music is not something you'd expect from a horror movie. But then, you know, they were trying a lot of different things at the time. If I were going to compare it to another movie, I would probably compare it to Texas Chainsaw Massacre because, well, it came out around the same time and very much a similar concept there of horror, which is to say, you know, they were trying to push the envelope, trying to show us just how horrible a human being could be to another human being, you know what I mean? That was something that Texas Chainsaw Massacre was trying to do, and that's something that Last House on the Left is trying to do as well. So there is that element to it, but then there's also this element of these two bumbling cops who don't know what the hell they're doing, and there's like a really like upbeat song going throughout the movie. Even at the end of the movie, there's this upbeat song, and even that in that upbeat song, they talk about these bumbling cops. Did they ever get there? You know, it's so weird because for all the really messed up stuff that's happening in the movie, the music definitely doesn't treat it like something messed up. It treats it like something funny. It's not funny. It's really twisted and screwed up. So, yeah, the movie is very twisted. And I'm sure most people who are watching this already knew that. But for those who didn't, yeah, expect a twisted movie. Expect something of its era. Because you got to remember, like, 70s were an era where that's where the whole XXX thing came from. Because, you know, X-rated movies became sexy, as it were. Before then, an X-rated movie was like a death sentence. If your movie got an X rating, it was never going to be seen by anybody. It was never going to be shown in any theaters. You were just done. But in the 70s, it all changed when the audiences changed, and suddenly X movies became more popular. And when X movies became more popular, more sexy, they took it to the next level. Somebody eventually took it to the next level by saying, well, our movie's rated XX, which wasn't actually a thing, but they said it was just to get more people in the theaters, right? And then eventually, somebody went to, yeah, XX, well, our movie's XXX, which you all know what that means, right? But that's the era this came from, all right? Just so you understand, it's the era of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the era where the X-rated movie, which had previously been, you know, a death sentence for a movie, was now like going from X to XX and then XXX. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the era this one came out of. But I will say about the actual release here, in terms of reviewing the actual release here, it is. Obviously, as I showed you, it's a very nice box set. It's got some very cool stuff in it. And you've got the Blu-ray here. The first disc has the unrated cut. The second disc has the Craven Company and R-rated cuts. And the third disc here is actually the CD with the motion picture soundtrack, which, as I already explained, is a kind of weird one. You know, it's got some oddly upbeat music. And the transfer, I mean, again, because of the era, it's hard to say whether or not it's a terrific transfer. It might be the best this movie will ever look. But even if it is the best the movie will ever look, it's still muddy in some parts. You got some hairs, errant hairs in the picture at some point, you know. There are things where pops and whistles where some cleanup might have been nice or handy, but I appreciate the fact that they didn't clean it up too much because, again, because it's part of that era, I kind of want it to look like it's from that era. And it's a lot more authentic that way. You get the best picture that way, because when they don't screw with the transfer too much, they at least aren't going to be scrubbing out any important details that way. I do think there were some areas where they probably scrubbed a little bit of detail away, but overall, pretty good transfer. I was definitely happy with it, and yeah, glad that I was able to pick this up for such a fantastic price. So there you have it. Last House on the Left from Arrow Video. That will do it for me today, but as I have said before in other videos for Halloween, I will be doing more horror movie reviews throughout the month of October for Halloween, because, well, why not? I love horror movies, and I love Halloween, and I love watching spooky movies around Halloween. So why not do some video reviews? Yeah. Anyways, that'll do it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.